Woodward Sports Network presents a sports show that's more than just sports. Welcome to The Bottom Line with U of M great and former NFL star Braylon Edwards and Ryan Ermani. Sit back and let's talk some Detroit sports right now on The Bottom Line.
And here we go. Tuesday, March 29, 2022. Ermani and Edwards, The Bottom Line, Woodward Sports Network. Ryan Ermani, Braylon Edwards. Good afternoon to you, my friend.
I'm sorry I'm discombobulated and a little bit of messy over here trying to figure out these wires and these cords. What is going on Woodward right now? It appears that somebody has run into a tree. You know, if you don't watch the show, you just listen to it. We're on Woodward. Woodward is one of the largest city or one of the largest streets, roads in the state of Michigan. Mm-hmm. There's a huge accident right outside our studio. And we always fear having these windows. We crack jokes about, cars rolling up on the curb. Right. And Ryan's right there in that space.
Right. I go first if somebody runs through here.
I wouldn't let you go first, man. I would come grab you. You and Sam, you guys are right there, man. But I would at least attempt to get there. I hope everybody's all right. Somebody appears to have run into a tree. But, hey, it's a hell of a way to start Tuesday.
Yeah, right. Hopefully everybody's all right over there, and it could be just some damage to the car. But either way,
all right.
Tom Mazaway, good afternoon to you.
All right. I'm good, man. How's things? Welcome back.
Thank you.
We missed you.
Had the day off
How
yesterday.
was the Oscar party? Was it good?
Did not have an Oscar party. We did a little medical deal for my little guy.
Oh, the medical deal.
Yeah, a little looky dookie, and so all is well, but had to do dad duty yesterday, and here I am today back and ready to have a little bit of fun with you guys.
Who wants to have some fun?
I'll tell you, on big days like yesterday where you get the draft and you get hard knocks, I mean, it's one of those
things. The slap, my bad. I'm sorry. I got excited. I was talking about the slap.
You want to be on.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's one of those days where you're like, oh, man, I really want to go to work today. So it is what it is. But we'll attack it today. There's one bit of news that came out today, and it settles a long-standing feud between Braylon Edwards and Tom Mazaway.
My guy.
In a vote.
I'm older.
It's my quarterback.
In a vote of 29-3, the overtime rules have been changed.
I want to know the three idiots that said no.
So here's from Ian Rappaport.
Detroit Lions were in there.
The Eagles and Colts proposed a rule change that would allow both teams the opportunity to possess the ball in overtime. That passed.
You mean like every other sport?
29-3. So there you have it. It does not say which three teams.
I guarantee you I can guess two of them. Two of them have to be the Patriots, and it have to be the Chiefs.
I would say the Steelers, too, because Mike Tomlin has come out and said he didn't want the rules to change. Yeah. He's not scared of overtime.
Patriots benefited because of the rule.
Yeah.
Win it in 60 minutes.
The Chiefs have definitely voted yes because 2 years ago they put that same proposal out to change the rules. True. So they're a yes. They're always out there.
But last year, well, technically, this year, it saved them. They got to stop in overtime, and they ended up winning. So who knows?
I'm going to you first, Braylon.
Oh, man, let's go.
29-3. Overtime has now changed. Both teams get the ball in OT. You think what?
What I think is, at the end of the day, everybody wants another chance. Every team, every coach, every GM, every owner, they want another chance. They want another option. They want to be able to say, hey, you know what? We still get an option. And to some extent, I understand what Maz says. Like, Maz has been very vocal about this all season, especially after the playoffs and after the Super Bowl and after that Buffalo and Chiefs game. He still wouldn't stop talking about it. If you are evenly matched in the playoffs and, you go 60 minutes and you fight hard and you get to a draw at the end of that overtime, in my yelling at Maz as he was yelling at me, I had the time to think. And, I had a chance to take a day off and say, am I being too hard on Maz in this situation? And, the answer is a little bit of yes. If you legitimately get to a space in the playoffs, both teams evenly matched, the Chiefs, the Bills, you fight hard, and you get to overtime, essentially you could lose on a coin flip. I do understand what Maz is talking about, so I do apologize to you.
No problem,
my good friend. So I do understand that. They deserve a chance. This is the playoffs. I like the fact that it's a playoff rule and not a regular season rule, so I'm good with it.
Mr. Poole on YouTube said Miami, Minnesota, and Cincy were the three wusses that said no.
Who is it?
Miami, Minnesota, and Cincy.
Okay.
Okay, those are the 3 nay votes.
And thank
of the
you for the
29-3.
clarification, by the way. This is playoffs
Yes,
only.
Playoffs only.
Playoffs only.
said-
Thank you for that clarification.
Not a problem. I said the wrong team, and it makes sense now. I meant to say Cincinnati.
Yeah, because they actually held on and won the game.
So I meant Cincinnati in the Chiefs game, but I wouldn't have thought the other
So
two.
here's the kicker for me. Both teams should get the ball because
Yeah.
every other sport, it's equal. Both teams have a chance to win.
Yeah.
Baseball, top and bottom of the inning.
Yeah,
Basketball,
don't just play at top of the 9th,
basketball,
top of the 10th.
basketball, 5 minutes. Both teams get a chance. Hockey, it's sudden death, but you each are on the ice. You have a chance. Then Neil threw me out. Well, what if they win the faceoff and go right down and score? I'm like, okay, Neil, do you want to flip a coin to see who gets the puck first? In other words, the coin should not decide a game. The coin is a coin. We did that as a kid. If you do something as a kid, it should not be deciding a Super Bowl. Poor Atlanta. I know they pissed away a 28-3
Right.
lead. And yesterday was 328 day, by the way. Everyone was making a mark of that. But I would have liked to have seen Atlanta have one chance to tie that Super Bowl up.
The one thing where I still will hold true to form of who I am and the conversation I've already built up is that football is a lot harder to score points in. Like football is it's tougher. So if you get one opportunity, it's tougher to stop. It's tougher to stop. It's easier to stop. It's tougher to score points in football. So if you get to overtime in football, you guys worked hard, but it should be you can first person to get it. You should stop them. It's easier to stop that than stop 2 points in baskets. Stop getting to the line and shooting free throws in basketball or even baseball. There's not a ton of scoring in baseball. So I think in football, the fact that it was the last sport to give you another chance in the playoffs, I think it made sense because it's harder to score in. Other sports are a lot easier.
New England was pouring it on Atlanta at that time in the Super Bowl. Pouring it on. They win the toss. They continue to pour it on. Atlanta had no chance to at least put their offense on the field at the end of that game and maybe tie it up. That's a long shot. But last year broke the camel's back. Josh Allen against Patrick Mahomes. That game, can you imagine the ratings that the NFL would have gotten if that game had continued?
The only reason I was sold, I'm going to let you jump back in, Ryan. Welcome back, my guy.
Hey, now, I don't get paid by the word.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about over there. I think the only thing with that being said last year is that the Chiefs had the ball. If they would have ended it, if the first half would have ended in a tie, boom, we're at a tie. Now you go to overtime. Now you flip a coin. Now Kansas City gets the ball first. Now Kansas City wins. Essentially, they ended in a tie. They didn't get the field goal. They didn't get the 13 seconds. It just Buffalo scores. There's a tie. There's a down into the ball by Kansas City, and then you go in overtime, and what happens. But the fact that Josh Allen scores. He goes down there. Mesmerizing fourth quarter. Mesmerizing 5 minutes by Josh Allen.
And Gabe Davis.
13 seconds left. They got it done. I think that's what causes so much of the conversation and back and forth is they were able to get it done in those 13 seconds.
So can you both be right, actually?
Yeah.
Because here's the deal, and I think this is a good of the game rule. I think there are those rules that just allow people to feel better about the outcome of the game. Right, wrong, or indifferent. And Braylon, all of your points are 1,000% accurate. And I think it's hard to kind of dispute what you're saying. But perception is reality. It's so much.
The law.
It is 9/10 of the law in this. And the perception from NFL fans and a lot of NFL players too is that if you win the coin toss, you will win the game. And since this current format was implemented, 10 of the 12 teams to move on in the playoffs under this current format won the coin toss. 7 of those 10 teams took the ball on the initial drive and went down and won that football game. So you're leaving your fan base really to say, forget about the first 60 minutes of play. Forget about everything you've seen. We didn't lose that game because of a dropped pass or an interception or a missed tackle. We lost that game because we lost the coin toss. Now you take that element out of it, and I think this is one of those rules for the good of the game. It had to change to knock that perception out.
Yeah, I mean, it's still interesting. I still always go back to the line, man. You have 60 minutes to fight. It is a game. You can go after. You guys get paid tons of money. Coaches are bought in. The new coach is bought in because he knows the angle. This is the new way of coaching. He's bringing in certain players. So that's part of it where I'm like, you got to get it done. But to the other part, like Matt said, man, you guys fight for 60 minutes. You get to the end, it's tied, and then essentially who wins the coin toss essentially is going to win the game. So it's a little bit unfair. So I'm still torn because the 60 minutes does matter. 60 minutes, you look at the Lions against Seattle. In 60 minutes, you saw who was going to win that game. So I still go on that side of it, but I'm open to understanding what Matt is talking about because he does definitely have a point that is right. And both can be true, like Neil Rule says.
I think they have to fix the regular season as well. They're only giving the teams a 10-minute period to score. Otherwise, you get a tie. What do we have? 2 last year?
Two possessions. It really comes down to two possessions.
That's it.
Each team gets a possession.
They're making a full 15-minute quarter then.
Yeah.
How about it? Could you at least do that?
I think that is something that needs to be looked at. At least a 15-minute.
Yeah.
Give an extra possession.
I mean, who thought of 10 minutes? There's no 10-minute thing in football.
Nothing should end in a tie.
Yeah.
Right.
That's just my personal belief. Should not end in a tie.
Never been a fan. Yeah. Now that I have never been a fan of. I have never been a fan of the tie. I remember the first time I saw a tie. The first time I even realized you could tie in the NFL, I was in the NFL. I'm watching the game. I think it was the Detroit Lions that tied somebody back in 2006 or 2007. But I was like,
probably
wow.
the Cardinals.
Yeah, I'm thinking the Cards. Yeah, I'm like, it's a tie? What are we doing? How do you play that hard? Why do you fight? How do you with a tie? Where I remember in 2010, we went to overtime against the Lions. I'm like, are we really going to go to overtime? Are we really going to tie these guys and then not make the playoffs? And then we end up going the next week against Cleveland. Another situation where we went into overtime, and we got to the end of overtime. I'm talking about they had a possession, we had a possession. They had a possession, we had a possession. Finally, San Antonio Holmes scored a touchdown with 2 minutes left, but never should end in a tie. I agree with you on that.
Ties got to go. If hockey can get rid of ties, they were the king of ties.
I will say this.
If they can get rid of it, you got to get rid of it eventually. Play the whole thing until you have a winner.
I don't disagree with you, but I don't want this to be a situation where they give you an inch and we want to take a mile.
Yeah.
Let's celebrate
except
this.
the win. Yeah.
Let's celebrate this today.
I know, but you would think the NFL would want them to keep playing until there's a winner.
You'd think.
You would think.
Hey,
Naz, you got to win today. Take it.
I am.
Hey, we did not plan this today, but we've got our Lions gear on.
Yeah.
We are going to be heavy on Lions
Detroit
today.
is back, baby.
It is.
So far.
Now, in the midst of all this love that the city of Detroit and the Lions organization was getting yesterday, there was one issue that happened that really made my stomach sink where I did an no!
Like that? It was like that?
It was worse than that.
I thought of you too.
You've got to be kidding me. So I'll tell you what that is next. Armani and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network. The bottom line, Ryan Armani is back. Stick, I still miss you, buddy.
6 dark corners, a driveway and a patio, 5 windows that could become doors. Every house has unique security challenges. Guardian Alarm has more tech, more team, and more ways to help keep them all safe. Get a professionally designed and installed security and smart home system from Guardian Alarm. Sign up today and get a free video device. Guardian Alarm. Smart, right from the start. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT.
Follow us everywhere. Just search Woodward Sports on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, IG, and more.
Hey, everybody, don't forget the Folding Warehouse is your place for some fun. Who wants to have some fun? Let's head to Hamtramck. That's going to be a great time when you get out there and talk to Chris and Noni Hutt at the Folding Warehouse, the football and bowling game. Couple ways to play, $10 unlimited open play. Show up when they open, but you got to leave when they close the doors. And there's another way you could play. You could have your own private lane reservation for 10 people. 2 hours for $120. If you're hungry, bring your own food in, have it delivered, have a picnic. The place is huge. Lots of TVs and lots of bars, too. Full bar service. Over 100 beers to take a peek at and take a drink of. And, of course, the $2 mystery beer machine. Get your fold on. Check them out at foldingwarehouse.com.
You know who else doors won't close on you? That's Planet Fitness, because where you are, your fitness is essential. Come on down to Planet Fitness right now, where $10 a month is
Only
all it takes.
$10.
Come on,
Only
Sam. I
$10.
appreciate you. And Ryan, See you getting in on the action. Both of you guys, $10 is all it takes to get in shape. But guess what? You can't just get in shape. Get in shape at your own pace because it is home of the judgment-free zone. Gotta love that. Planet Fitness, over 2,000 locations. That means wherever you are, there is a location near you for you to get your workout on and just get it cracking. $0 down if you sign up in person, or planetfitness.com is your way to sign in. Planetfitness.com. Your fitness is essential.
So amidst all the love yesterday that the Detroit Lions were getting, the city of Detroit was getting, lots of lathering up. And I'm going to lather them up myself in just a little bit. But I do have to get to this because I have been on this kick and they have let me down. And what they did was they announced that the Detroit Lions will not be changing their uniforms this year. In fact, they won't change them until 2023 at the earliest. And Maz, as you said, they're probably going to wait until 2024.
Why not?
Rod Wood, this is from Pride of Detroit. Rod Wood said no new uniforms in 2022, but it sounds like they're very much considering it next year, including the potential of another helmet option. I don't want to come out here and be all negative towards the Detroit Lions because that's not what I want to be. It's very positive. However, with this issue that I have been a staunch proponent of for months and months and months, actually years upon years and years, I think this franchise, with this current leadership of Chris Spielman, Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell, this is a new identity. This is a new day. This is a new attitude. And with that, you need to look better than you normally do. This logo sucks. This color scheme sucks.
No, it doesn't.
I hate it. And I think, you know why I hate it? Because it resembles losing.
Right.
This emblem represents losing. This new regime didn't create that.
Right.
They didn't. So if you've got an opportunity to bring more oxygen into this room, into this era, let's do it. Let's do it like the Denver Broncos did, like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers did. I mean, completely different looks.
Two horrible changes.
Regardless of what you think, they were new change. The Tampa Bay Bucs specifically. I mean, those creamsicle uniforms, you can like them now and all that stuff, but that creamsicle resembled losing.
They were awesome, though.
And I'm not saying a uniform change makes it all of a sudden where this franchise turns into a winning franchise.
Right.
But I think it gives you a new identity because this thing right here, the L stands for losers. And we don't want that anymore. This new regime didn't put that garbage product on the field for decades.
What I will
Let's go.
Say it again then.
Let's go.
There we go. That's that energy I love.
I'm ready for a change.
Honolulu blue is Mr. Ford's favorite color.
The first thing that I would say is address Maz on those two. Talking about the Denver Broncos and Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa Bay Buccaneers definitely had to get rid of those creamsicle jerseys.
No.
Listen, you love them, but they were nothing but losers in those jerseys. They were nothing but losers. You look at those, the pirate with the blade in his mouth.
Yeah, it's Bucko Bruce.
Bucko got his ass whooped a bunch of times. Like, you look back at that, and it represents losing. And then not only did they changed to some leading, moving forward type uniform. The Bucs had the best uniforms, those grayish, mattish helmets, the grayish smoke helmets, the red, really good. Now, Denver, I disagree with you. Those Denver original jerseys were smooth.
Yes,
and the helmets, I like that, but they did get better.
And they won two Super Bowls after they did.
I know, but they had Bucky the Bronco. How proud he was coming out of that D.
Buck the Buccaneer, Bucky the Broncos. Everybody Buck over there.
Well, it's Bucko Bruce and Bucky the Bronco.
Going back to what you said about the
Broncos.
Lions, I disagree with you about the Detroit Lions. One, you see that hat?
That
you
line
see that
is
shirt?
awesome.
There's nothing wrong with that. Their colors, Honolulu blue and silver, nothing wrong with that. Their jerseys now, nothing wrong with that. You yourself loved the whiteouts last year when they lost to Green Bay Monday night. All that's good. But with that said, that's not even why I disagree with you. I'll disagree with you because a lot of things are seeming to go in the favor of the city of Detroit right now. They're seeming to go in the favor of the Detroit Lions right now. Stagger things. Don't announce everything at one time. Don't drop everything at one time. Boom. What do we have this year? We got Hard Knocks. That's something to love. We got Hard Knocks, which is going to be a great show. You got Dan Campbell. You got the personalities of Jake Fox. It's going to be a great Hard Knocks. I think it could be one of the best. Now next year, 2023, doesn't seem like anything's going on. Now you drop some new unis on them in 2023. That's a staggered approach because what's happening in 2024? That's right. We got the NFL draft. I think staggering things is good. You stagger the level of drops you have. If they drop the new uniforms next year, it's a nice staggering piece. Don't drop everything at one time. You can't give them too much.
Listen to me, guys. Go back to Billy Sims' uniform, and they were gorgeous.
How many playoff wins does Billy Sims
I don't
have?
care.
Okay. Just
Gorgeous uniform. It's silver, not gray. Honolulu blue, silver are the colors. Honolulu blue and silver, not the gray. The silver numbers, the outline numbers, that beautiful Honolulu blue color, like the Panthers colors. And you probably don't like the Panthers either, right? You don't like Carolina blue?
No,
With the Panthers? You don't think that looks good?
I think their uniforms are okay.
The Lions uniforms
heavy
were
on the
very
black.
Yeah.
In that uniform.
I'm just telling you, for everyone that's watching and listening, go back to the 1970s, early 80s uniforms. Bubba Baker, all of those. I bet you KB, if he's listening, he'll agree with me. Those uniforms were perfection. They stood out. They looked great. They were the silver rush. There's nothing silver about the Lions
If this
right
was
now.
1980, I'd understand. But this is freaking 2022.
Okay, what do you
And you're
want
trying
then?
to-
What
you know
colors
what I
you want?
I'll tell you what I want, and you can keep the colors. You know what I want? We did a pregame show with our friends from WRIF
Yeah.
every Sunday. We'd go to the Tin Roof, and right next to the Tin Roof, there was I don't even know what the store is called.
yeah.
I don't even know what the store is called. But they had these alternate Lions helmets that were white with the blue.
Yes.
They had
Stood up a lot.
They had
Chrome.
chrome
What do they-
blue.
what do they call
that
it?
was
It's called
awesome. I mean,
Concept. It's a concept
it's a
jersey.
concept.
There you go. Concept
But I mean,
jerseys.
like, if you want to keep this color scheme, fine. But do something else with it. Those silver helmets have got to go. Gray helmets gotta go. This emblem has to go.
No.
It's a losing emblem. You look like losers.
I love Leaping Lion. I don't like mean Leaping Lion. I like the other guy.
Let's get a fresh voice in here. Sam, what do you think about all this?
Ryan, you may have actually convinced me because I actually like the Lions uniforms, but the Buccaneers, they were a terrible franchise, and then they changed their uniforms. They won 2 Super Bowls. The Broncos, before they changed theirs, had been to 4 and got destroyed in all of them.
Denver Broncos.
Thank you, Alex. And ever since then, they've won 3. I think when you're the Lions, you have to look at things like maybe omens. I know it's not tangible, but if you change the uniforms, I don't know, it might symbolize a change in approach.
And again, I want to be very clear here. I don't believe that ultimately changing the uniform just means instant success for the Detroit Lions. That'd be dumb and irresponsible to say. But I think sometimes, how many times did you play a game, Braylon Edwards, at the University of Michigan when you won the game before teams would even come out there?
Yeah.
Because they saw the helmets and they knew they were in for a long Saturday afternoon. Conversely, if I may,
please.
teams walk into Ford Field. It's all quiet. There's it's like the old Major League. Oh, Vaughn. You know, no,
Go
half
golf.
the place is
Yeah,
empty.
Jared
Golf.
do your thing.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
And then they see that Lion helmet, and they know they won that game. They know in the fourth quarter, they're going to, no matter what happens the first 3 quarters, they know in the fourth quarter they've won the game.
Bring back Leaping Lion. Bring back the Flying Lion. Let's go. Bring him back.
You make a very valid point. You know, when you look at something that's consistently that, it's that. No matter what you do in the first quarter of a Lions game or the second quarter of a Lions game, I'll give you an example of that to your point. Watching the Arizona Cardinal game, I was there. I was in you were supposed to be there, but hey, you know, it's all good. I was there watching the Arizona Cardinal games with the Lions And you're literally watching the Cardinals think the same thing you're saying. Like when the first quarter is over, they're like, yeah, so what? It's still the Lions because they still look the same. Second quarter's over. Yeah, so what? It's still the Lions. To that point, they weren't the Lions. They won that game. And to your point, you want to have a change in uniform, a change of scenery. Like I begged for all blue at Michigan, and we weren't not winning games. We were winning games. We had won the Big Ten Championship my junior year. I begged for all blue. Me, Marlon Jackson, Dave Boss, and Ernest Shazer were begging, and Cato June, begging for all blue. Finally, they got it years later, man, but it just, you saw a different team. Yo, that's why I said I want them, not this year. I want them to be staggered. You got a lot going on. Hard Knocks next year, and then 2024, the draft.
Fair enough. Guys, Brad Holmes, Lions general manager, you know, so much of the talk over the last couple of weeks has been that the Lions have been busy signing their own free agents to free agent contracts and ultimately running it back with a 3-13-1 team. Brad Holmes actually responded to that line of thinking today. You will hear that next. Armani and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
It took exploring 50 different formulas and hosting countless taste tests, but we believe Gypsy Vodka is the smoothest vodka on the market. Don't believe us? Ask the owners.
We're Mike and Adam Kazanowski with High Five Spirits Distillery. We're in close to about 1,200 locations throughout Michigan. We wanted to create a brand that was geared more towards freedom, love, adventure, and at the end of the day, we really wanted to tell a story that inspired other people to take risks, follow their dreams, whatever that might be.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Hey, everybody, it's Maz, and opening day is coming up. April 7th. It's a Friday. Cannot wait for it. It is April 7th, right? April 7th. That's
April 8th.
April 8th. April 8th is the Tigers home opener, and we are all going to be down there, starting with the Morning Wood, then Big D Energy, and us, the bottom line, the entire Woodward staff. Live broadcast, the home opener parties, live DJs, live broadcast, keg holding competitions, and more. The Morning Woodward Show live 8 to 10 from the Brass Rail. Great pizza, by the way. Big D Energy is going to be live from the Music Hall Amphitheater, 11 to 1. I don't know how Sam's going to get back and forth. I guess we got some time. And then the bottom line, right back at the Brass Rail from 2 to 4. Friday, April the 8th. Come celebrate the real opening day with the first one in 3 years. Come on down. I guarantee great weather and a great time. Woodward Sports on opening day, April the 8th.
Hey, gang! And I heard Stick say that yesterday, which was great. I want to tell you about Les Stanford Chevrolet, located in Dearborn on Michigan Avenue. Les Stanford, your Corvette king. Yep, that's right. GM announced the all-new 2023 Corvette Z06, flat-plane V8 capable of 670 horsepower, making it the most powerful naturally aspirated V8 in production. How about 0 to 60 in 2.6 seconds? That's right. For more, head over to CorvetteKing.com, CorvetteKing.com. And for all your other Chevy and Cadillac needs, don't worry about that chip shortage. Don't worry about supply chain.
Fake news.
Head there today. Order a car. They'll get you what you want. LesStanford.com. LesStanford.com.
Find new roads.
Find them.
So you've seen the memes and the jokes all over the place of running it back with a 3-13-1 team, with the Lions re-signing virtually all of their own free agents, in addition to adding a prove-it deal to DJ Chark, 1 year, $10 million, can get as high as $12 million. But nonetheless, DJ Chark, wide receiver from the Jacksonville Jaguars, Bray, is about the only guy that they brought in, that wasn't one of their own. And a lot of people making fun of that.
Yeah, I made fun of it as well. I followed suit, 3-13-1. Go ahead, let's run it back. You look at a lot of the moves they made. They tried to bring back the identity that was last year. And I think the people that are just looking at from a records or wins and losses type deal, you're looking at it as 3-13-1. Let's sign everybody back. Everybody. Mm-hmm. But I think also they're looking at it differently. I think they were the guys that were there when Brad Holmes came in with Dan Campbell and Sheila Hamp. We'll get to that also. No more forward in that name. They were there to start the new identity. They were there to start the process of believing in Brad Holmes' vision, believing in Dan Campbell's vision. So I understand a level of that. Like, I understand the level of that, but you still got to add some key pieces in there to mix in with the good. Like, look at what Cleveland did. Like, look at the teams that have been traditionally bad. They've added a couple of perennial Pro Bowlers. They've added a couple players, and then you also build around it. So I think that's where a lot of the fans were having problems. That's where a lot of the memes, a lot of the jokes were coming from. But I do understand bringing back the individuals that believe in the mission at hand. They were there in the beginning, and they hadn't won a game since November of 2020, and then they win the game, and you see that Tracy Walker, you saw the emotion when he was talking, the amazing interview that you did. You saw the energy that Tracy Walker was providing. You saw DJ Chark excited to be here. He talked about Dan Campbell. He talks about Brad Holmes. So, I mean, there's excitement. There's buzz. I'm optimistic as I can be for a team that's signing everybody from a 3-13 team.
Evan Brown, Tim Boyle, Alex Anzalone, Josh Reynolds, Tracy Walker, Khalif Raymond, DJ Chark, and then you've got DJ Chark and the linebacker Gerard Davis.
Who was here and drafted by here.
Absolutely, in 2017. So earlier today, Brad Holmes spoke to the media at the NFL owners meetings at the Breakers in Florida, and here's what he had to say about signing their own free agents.
We kind of held back from just adding all these veteran free agents to kind of maybe help us to get another win or so, and we took the plan to develop. Well, I do think that plan started to crystallize, as the season progressed, and I think it hit it in a good note. So I totally understand, from especially our fans' perspective, that you say, look, man, 3-1 team, why are you bringing back the same players? But as much work as we put into, the production that those players had, in our system, and then having that continuity with the coaching staff coming back as well, there's a lot of optimism for that. And again, it's still being aggressive. It's just that, it's not always saying that you're not being aggressive if you don't go the external route.
So that's Brad Holmes earlier today, NFL owners meetings. And I do understand where he's coming from. And look, we've mentioned this before in the past, too. We could sit here and say, the Lions are going to compete for a division and they're going to make the playoffs in 2022. And, a large part of me believes that. But also, my mind tells me that this is still a 2 or 3 year process before you become that consistent NFL team that is competing for a playoff berth, competing for a division championship every year. And when you're signing players like this and not hamstringing your cap, I think this is the proper way to go about building a team. There's many different ways to build a team. I think this is the right way to go about it for this franchise right now at this moment in time.
Yeah, everybody wants to see change now. And that's what we crack jokes on millennials about. We crack jokes on social media. Everybody wants results now. They want things now. They don't want to put in the work. They want the money now. They want the fame now. They want this now. So I definitely appreciate that level of patience, that level of staying the course. And I can understand it, because literally if you try to build something, sometimes it just doesn't work. Just because a guy in any genre, if a guy is a home run hitter, and I use that term as a metaphor, but if a guy's a home run hitter, or a guy has a knockout, a guy has an all-star, this, that, and third, it's not going to necessarily fit into the plans that you're building. You're starting something from the ground up. You're trying to move it forward in a 2-3 year window, and you want to stay with what you have. You don't want to, just because something is there, it looks good, it's shiny, it's gold, it looks good, you want to grab it, but it can mess up what you've done. I understand that. I just always throw caution to the wind as they're doing this. If it doesn't work, they're going to tear you guys apart.
When you're so close to something too, and I love the Lions, right? I've made no secret about that. When you're so close to something, you want something so bad, you believe in it. You believe in it, but you're a little too close to the situation to kind of sit there and truly evaluate. I mean, am I so off base here on the way Brad Holmes is going about building this team? Like, thinking that this offseason has been a very productive offseason, because in my heart, I truly believe they're doing this the right way. They're going to build through the draft. There's going to be a ton of salary cap casualties as we approach training camp. So the Lions are going to be in a financial position where, if they see fit, if there is a player out there that they can go get and pay and bring in and help them win games, I think they have the ability to do that.
I don't think you're too close to the situation. I think you're thinking the way that most people think. You know, that smart individual thinking. You're watching teams that can falter. Look at the Jacksonville Jaguars situation. They spent a lot of money, man. It's a lot, and it's a lot of question mark. Like, they're spending a ton of money.
Now, to me, we've seen that here before with the Dre Bly's of the world,
right.
and you know, you're Oz Hakeem. Remember, I mean,
Bill Schrader.
I mean, just throwing millions of dollars at players to build through free agency, and it never seems to work out if you don't have that core.
Golden Tate worked out to a degree. He went to the Pro Bowl. He was a consistent player. He actually had more yards than Calvin Johnson.
Got a third-round pick
in
for him,
that
at
four-year draft. I mean, in that four-year period. The good thing about it, man, they're doing it their way. Like, the one thing I will give them is they're doing it the way they feel necessary. Like Brad Holmes, Sheila E. Oh my gosh, she's an amazing musician. Sheila Ham. And then Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell, they're doing it their way. Hey, we're not drafting who the city thinks they want, or who the city wants, or who the city's like. Guys like me, I'm throwing on names like Bobby Wagner. I'm throwing on names like Tyrann Mathieu, bring in Quandre Diggs, Allen Robinson. They said Braylon doesn't know about what our vision is. Braylon, they don't know about what our vision is. We have a vision. We have what we're doing. We know what we're doing. The fact that they're staying true to who they believe they are, to who they know they are, you know what? It makes you excited. It makes you more optimistic, because they could have easily just tried to, like, oh, you know what? Let's get Bobby Wagner. Let's go sign this. Let's get Baker Mayfield. You know, let's bring him in. Yeah, $18 million, that's not that much. And then blow the whole franchise up, and they'll be like Quinn Tricia. So they believe in it. They're operating a certain way because of it. So all we can do is watch.
They signed a couple of guys late, right before Jared Davis. Mike Hughes, a kid from Kansas City, quarterback.
Yeah.
Young man.
One year
good
deal.
upside.
Prove
Good
it deal.
upside.
Yep,
Another
absolutely.
one, Chris Board, linebacker from the Ravens. Two good teams that you get these young kids from that they couldn't get on those teams. They can make a difference on this team. I like those last two signings, to be honest with you. Jared Davis, you got nothing to lose. You're not paying him. They didn't keep him for his fifth-year option. They let him go. The Jets, it didn't work out. You bring him back here, you got nothing to lose.
Yeah. Guys, Rod Wood spoke to the media yesterday, had a couple of interesting things to say. One about a Super Bowl, two about a draft, three about Deshaun Watson. We'll touch on all of it next. This is Armani and Edwards.
What was Sports Network? The Bottom Line.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Hey, gang, how would you like to win $100,000? Yep, you heard me correctly, 100 grand. Just get to a Lady Jane's today, get a precision haircut, and register for your chance to be 6 figures richer. All you got to do is, look, there's several locations throughout the Metro Detroit area, several more around the country, over 100 locations nationwide. Get to see one of their talented stylists, and they will treat you like a king. Probably treat you a little bit better here than you get treated at home.
100%.
Absolutely, no doubt about it. Open 7 days a week, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Walk in anytime, sign in, sit down, relax. Before you know it, you are handsome and clean. Ooh-wee! Lady Jane's, haircuts for men. Get a precision haircut. Sign up to win 100 grand. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Wicked awesome.
All right, gang. Armani and Edwards, Braylon, I'm telling you, driving around in the car yesterday, listening to you talk, man. I got to tell you, you are phenomenal at this thing here.
Hey, man, you're too kind, man. You guys make it easy, man. You know what I'm saying? With Alex and Sam and then Big Maz in the chair, you at the desk. It is simple as pie. We are a team. We work congruently, man. It's special. I'm just looking at, everybody's talking about what's going on with Jimmy G right now. Speaking of the Lions, I'm going to make it make sense. We'll bring it back to the Lions. Everybody's talking about what's going on with Jimmy G. Why is Jimmy G still on the team? Well, one, he has surgery. Two, Jimmy G's a decent quarterback that wins games.
Absolutely.
Like, 75% win total. I think he's been to 2 NFC Championship games. He's been to a Super Bowl. Now, it wasn't because of him solely, but there's a situation here in Detroit that's very similar. You got Jared Goff. Everybody's trying to get rid of Jared Goff. Everybody's trying to find a home for Jared Goff in terms of Lions fans. How can we get some money for Jared Goff? How can we get some cap? What about quarterbacks? What about this? Sometimes, man, you know what? I know you're paying him a little bit of money. I think they restructure his deal well enough to where you can hold him for 2-3 years. Jared Goff's not a bad quarterback to have, especially as you plan on building it up a certain way. You like the identity. You want to focus on defense. You think you guys are good. You think people are buying into what the Lions do. When I say people, talking about Brad Holmes, talking about Dan Campbell, you don't have to necessarily rush Jared Goff out of there for a quarterback. Even if you do draft a Malik Willis, it's nothing wrong. You saw what happened last year with Jimmy G and Trey Lance.
You hit it on the head. He's going to be a terrific quarterback for us going forward. After we get Malik Willis, he'll be a great clipboard holder. There's no question about it.
But
Number 2 overall, baby.
There's also nothing wrong with that, man. You got a guy that can come in, win you some games. You got a guy that has been to a Super Bowl, which you guys like to bring up often. Like, he's been to a Super Bowl. He's been on teams that have had success. You've seen him when he's had something to work with. He was over 100% QB. I mean, not 100%. He was over 100 QBR for the last 5 games that he played in. So, with that being said, he's not a bad option to have. But you still got to get your
sure
number
beats the hell out of this year's backup quarterbacks. That I could tell you. That I think they need to upgrade.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry, Tim Boyle and David Blau.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's no.
Enough already.
You don't like TB12?
No.
Enough already.
Oh, hell no.
I agree
That's
with
right.
that one, Sam.
That speaks for all of us. Guys, I mentioned Rod Wood, and those are 7 letters here in Detroit that people have an opinion on, right? Rod Wood. He doesn't speak much to the media anymore, but he did have a chance to speak yesterday.
Looks a little like Richard Gere, a little.
Yeah, he does.
A little
Look,
Richard Gere look.
I think you have the ability to evolve as who you are, right? I mean, I think when Rod Wood first got the job, he didn't really know who he was in that role.
I don't think he knew football.
And maybe not. And still probably doesn't know that much football to where he's handling personnel issues, right?
I.e., hence why you bring in somebody like Chris Spielman
and Brad Holmes. So
John Dorsey.
So I don't want to say that he gets a bad rap. I mean, when you're in that position, you get what you get. Right? I mean, when you're in the public eye like that, when you're working for an organization, you get what you get. But, just a couple of things that Rod Wood did. One, I think it is Rod Wood that he did not raise ticket prices this year for Lions fans. I think that is a good move. I think you should get credit for that because that's a business decision that as the president of the Detroit Lions you make. That's number one. Number two, I think Rod Wood is responsible for being the pinpoint guy on trying to get a Super Bowl, on trying to get some events here to Detroit, on trying to work with the NFL and getting the NFL draft. I think he deserves some credit for that. So for all of the jokes that we've made, for all of the venom that has been spewed his way, I do want to give him a little credit for some of the things that he's done this offseason and beyond as well.
I appreciate you giving him credit, and I think that is very important, like 100%. I am of the mind that you get what you deserve. Like, there's been a lot of things that Rod Wood has done, moves he's made, and they haven't been good moves. They haven't been good advice as he's talked to the owners of the team, the people running the team at the time, because it has changed in the last 7 years from person to person. So he's deserved a lot of that negativity, but this is definitely agree with you 100%. He deserves this credit because you can't tell me he's not the point person that's working with the Detroit Sports Commission, and we talked to Dave yesterday. Like, he's definitely a person that's been the point guy for the Detroit Lions and helping them get all they need to bring the NFL draft here in 2024. So got to give him some flowers. It's just like Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook deserves all the credit he gets for being 23,000 points, being Mr. Triple-Double, winning MVP. He definitely deserves a lot of credit for, or discredit for, not being able to shoot this year, not making free throws, not making dunks, the way his field goal percentage. You deserve what you get. And right now, Rod Wood and those 7 letters deserve a little bit of love.
He's still got to get it right with Calvin, to me. He's still got to get it right with Calvin Johnson. And I think he's the guy. It's him against Calvin, and I don't like it.
I don't disagree with you on that at all. I mean, that's one aspect. But a lot of times, too.
Just a bad look still.
But a lot of times you make your mind up on somebody, and no matter what they do moving forward, your mind has already been made up.
No, that's not me.
Well, maybe not you, but I think for
Definitely
a lot of
not Maz.
But for a lot of people, I think that is the case. So I just wanted to point that out there because I know the minute he opens his mouth, he's getting like, you know, Rod Wood this, Rod Wood that. It is what it is. I'm not trying to be some mouthpiece for Rod Wood here. And just, you know, I want to recognize some of the things that he is doing good. And, you know, back to that Calvin thing, they should figure that out. But they did try to pay him money, like $1.5 million for him to do like 2 or 3 appearances.
More than that.
You know what I mean? I mean, and
it's his money. He already earned it.
Oh, I don't want to fight with you. I don't want to go down that line.
Well, you could fight with me. He already earned it. Why are you going to make me? I want you to come in on the weekends this weekend to redo your show, but I'm not going to pay you any extra money.
Well, I mean, I just don't think. I don't know. I don't believe they can just write him a check like that.
Yeah,
Maybe they could backdoor.
Why not?
I think it's against the salary cap rules or something
give
like
a
that.
damn. It's
They've
$1.5
got to
million.
make him work for it or
It's
something.
$1.5 million.
Maybe he can do a no-show.
But here's the thing: if he's no longer working he's no longer working for the Lions organization. Sheila Hampton, she's not a private citizen. She's not a regular citizen where she could just write a check.
You know, if you pay somebody all that money, you know you're getting taxed on that like crazy.
Well, when you got billions in the bank, the tax is a little different.
Either way, I don't want to go down that road.
Right,
That's
right.
a separate road. Let me play this clip for you. This is Rod Wood talking about Detroit shouldn't get a Super Bowl, by the way. The city of Detroit should not be in consideration for a Super Bowl.
Where are you going to put it? At
Why?
LCA?
Because the stadium's too old and not up to snuff.
Well, yeah, it's all on the stadium to be.
Yeah.
People try to blame hotels and stuff, and I don't believe that.
To me, it's purely a stadium deal.
Agreed.
Right now, 20 years old, that stadium is a dinosaur.
It is.
So here's what Rod Wood had to say about
Save it, Bray.
not getting a Super Bowl, but getting the NFL draft.
I think, you know, it's unlikely, I will never say never, that we'll have another chance for a Super Bowl, but the draft has become maybe the next biggest event that the league puts on. And so once the draft started to move around and was so successful in other markets, it became something that we really focused on, and so happy that it's finally happened. And hopefully we'll put on a good enough show that maybe they will consider us for a Super Bowl again. But I kind of teased Peter about that on the way over. But
Two points about that. One, do you guys take either issue with my statement that the city of Detroit, I shouldn't say the city of Detroit because the city of Detroit could absolutely pull it off, but the stadium is just not there.
Yeah.
I mean, if you are going to have a Super Bowl in Detroit, you better have some $2 billion, $5 billion stadium like a SoFi, like an Allegiant Stadium, or be Miami or Tampa or something like Arizona, something like that.
I agree with you 100% because if you remember what happened last year during the Super Bowl, that week leading up to the Super Bowl, and especially on what was the NFL Honors were that Thursday night preview, stepping up to the Super Bowl. They were Thursday night, Friday night. They had an event. They had an event pretty much every day Thursday to the Super Bowl and Sunday. Watching that stadium was a thing of beauty. Looking at the lake outside, looking at where they were doing point of vantage, like POVs and vantage points for interviews, the NFL Honors walking into that arena and that setting. Everything was beautiful, was so well done, and they talked about it in such a glow, talking about what SoFi was, talking about the architecture behind SoFi, the technology. It was great to watch. I agree with you 100%. I don't want them to come to Detroit and have a Super Bowl here at Ford Field and then like laugh at us again. We're already at the butt of most jokes. That's why we're excited. We're moving forward. You see, we have the NFL draft. We have NFL Hard Knocks. We're getting things. We're moving forward. Dan Gilbert has done a great job downtown. The things that he's done for Cass Tech are amazing. You don't want them to get the Super Bowl in Detroit and then they're showing Ford Field and they're showing this ugly dinosaur. Maybe not ugly, but they're showing this dinosaur of a thing.
Seriously.
It's going to be more jokes. It's going to be the butt of more jokes. People like, oh, you talking about Detroit, that place where Ford Field is at? So I agree with you 100%. Until you get the stadium, until you get the arena, hey, maybe that's 20, 30 years out. Yeah. Until you get it, that's when you wait.
Let me ask you guys this really quick. I know we're going to a break. Would you like it if the Lions played at Comerica Park for 3 years while they knocked Ford Field down and built the retractable dome that we deserve?
They should.
They should.
They should.
I would enjoy it, I think, at Comerica Park better than when I go to Ford Field. I know it's 40,000 versus 65,000, but I think I would enjoy it better for those 3 years and give me a damn retractable dome because our weather is good through December.
But I mean, look at some of these things.
might be onto something with that, man.
Looking at a Super Bowl specifically, right? I mean, you're trying to tell me you go to the Jerry World, right? Jerry World, and then SoFi,
Allegiant.
and then Allegiant. What do you think they're going to build in Chicago?
Yeah, it's going to be that.
It's going to be something like that. You can't have a Super Bowl then at Ford Field. The stadium is just no offense. This Ford Field is great. But
it's okay.
It's 20 freaking years old and doesn't compare with my fingernail. That's how much of a percentage it is to those other stadiums. It's just not what that is. Now, let me ask you guys a question.
Go ahead.
The NFL draft here in Detroit, other than a Super Bowl, is there a bigger event in the sports world this country has to offer? Think about what I'm saying here, because I really mean this. Than the NFL draft. I want you guys to answer me.
Okay.
Is there a bigger sporting event this country has to offer a city other than the NFL draft? I feel like it's second to the Super Bowl only.
Wow.
And I'll tell you why. Next, Armani and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
Detroit, you've been waiting. You've been asking, and now he's back. Starting Monday, April 4th, Terry Foster joins the Morning Woodward Show every day, bringing you Detroit sports like only he can. The Morning Woodward Show with Terry Foster and Adam starts April 4th, live on the Woodward Sports Network.
At Wingsnob, staying humble's not our forte. We just have better wings. We're back at it again with our crispy golden brown fries and our famous boneless wings. Juicy, tender, hormone-free chicken. Your favorite signature sauces with no bone. Just when you thought Wingsnob couldn't get any better. Order online at wingsnob.com today. Wingsnob. We just have better wings.
Hey, everybody, it's time to get your tan on. Opening day is just around the block. You got to start looking good when you head to the ballpark. And what better way to get it going than going to Chili Peppers Tanning? You'll find the cleanest salons in the D, spotless, sanitized rooms, and trained and certified tanning professionals. ChiliPeppersTanning.com. They got the hottest bulbs, the hottest deals, the darkest tans, your vitamin D headquarters, 26 locations, and more on the way. One right down the street here on Woodward. If you join the Pepper Club for the best deals, they beat all competitors by $5. Check them out. Get online right now. Make your appointment. ChiliPeppersTanning.com.
Happy Tuesday, everybody. This is Corey Woods, your Detroit Lions beat reporter at the Woodward Sports Network, checking in with another Detroit Lions update. And what a fun-filled Monday it was for the city of Detroit. Two big pieces of news in one day. It started off with the Detroit Lions being awarded Hard Knocks this summer. I know that there is a mixed reaction over the Detroit Lions getting this documentary series, but hey, it is a great thing. Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes, Sheila Ford-Ham, the whole gang at Ford Field and Allen Park, they're doing amazing things, and it is great that HBO is going to be there at training camp to document it. There has been a lot said about Dan Campbell and his theatrics, if you want to call them, his introductory press conference where he wore the race car helmet. It was a lot of unfair criticism sent in the direction of Dan Campbell, but now the fans, the city of Detroit, the rest of the world, all eyes are going to be on the Detroit Lions as Hard Knocks rolls out this year. And I am very excited to see how it's going to go. Are the Lions going to change anything up from last year's training camp? What will they do differently? Will they go ahead and keep things the same? I'll tell you what, just from my experience of covering the Lions, they are really, let's call them a bottled up organization. They don't let too many things slip out. There is not a whole bunch of cameras always coming in there. So the fact that they're going to allow HBO and their cameras to come into Allen Park during training camp and film, that says a lot about this regime. And then the next big piece of news is the city of Detroit was awarded the 2024 NFL Draft. Per the reports, it is going to be at Campus Martius and Hart Plaza. Now, as somebody who covered the draft in Nashville, Tennessee, I'm telling you right now, this is going to be a spectacle to behold. If you've never been to an NFL draft, you are going to be in for the treat, because I believe that the way that Nashville did it, and I gotta admit, Nashville was a very fun time. They had everything spread out over the whole streets. It was pop-up shops, fan experiences. If they had the whole layout, there were parties galore. I think the city of Detroit is going to take that to another level. Right now, Detroit is building new monuments, building new hotels. There's a slew of entertainment. There is going to be so much to do, and I think the city of Detroit is going to show up and show out. Now, hopefully, the Detroit Lions will not be having a high pick in that draft, because if they don't have a high pick, that means they're doing their job and they're winning some games. But I'm telling you right now, you guys are going to be loving everything that's going to be coming to Detroit for the NFL draft. And here's the thing. Once Detroit shows up and shows out for the NFL draft, that is going to attract more big sporting events to come this way. Maybe an NBA All-Star game. Who knows? Maybe a Final Four. Hey, I'm a wrestling fan. Maybe WrestleMania might come back to the D. That's all I got for you guys today. This is Corey Woods, your Detroit Lions beat reporter at the Woodward Sports Network. Check you guys next time.
So that was our boy Corey Woods, beat writer for the Detroit Lions. Does an amazing job. The one thing I want to say real quick, man, the guys in the back, the young talent here at Woodward Sports. Yesterday I had a chance to work with Spencer and Easy. I did their podcast, The Heavyweights. Just great guys,
I'm obsessed with the Heavyweights.
I'm obsessed with their content. I'm obsessed with their creativity and ingenuity. Corey is another one of those guys. You see him diligently working. He's always sitting in the kitchen, just coming up with ideas. He's working, he's reading, he's researching. The guys here, women included, Hannah does a tremendous job as well. They work hard, man, and I'm so proud of them, man. Call them my colleagues.
Did you see me slap Spencer?
I saw you slap the hell out of Spencer. Right. Hey, it was a good slap. That lets me know when you told me that you did own a bar back in the day in New Jersey. I believe you, because that was one of those got to walk up and get somebody straight type smacks. You can't do that anymore, but
those dine and dashers, I used to run right after them as much as I could run.
There aren't two more entertaining people at this station than the Heavyweights.
St. Patty's
Spencer
Day deal.
Raxter and Speakeasy.
They have fun.
Easy.
St. Patty's Day deal.
I'm telling you, if you're not following the Heavyweights, get on board.
Check them out on opening day, too. They will be out and about. That's all I got to say.
Men of the people, I will say. They are great.
No doubt. Guys, I asked you a question before the break, and I want to get your sense. I don't believe there's a bigger sporting event in this country that the city of Detroit could get than, obviously, Super Bowl #1.
Right.
But aside from that, the NFL draft to me is it. Tell me another one. Am I okay there, or am I way off base?
Maz, I defer to you. I'll go last, because I'm deciding between three things right now.
You got it. First of all, I love the NFL draft. Mm-hmm. I've been to the NFL draft when it was held in Radio City and at the Felt Forum at the Garden back in the day. I went to a USFL draft at the Ambassador Hotel in New York. I'm a sickie. I'm a draftnik. I sat in the freaking upper tier for the Giants and the Jets back in the day. Listen, there's a part of me that's upset that they took it out of New York, because that's my history.
Right.
But I love what they're doing with it going forward. And to have it here in Detroit is phenomenal. I will tell you this. I think the Final Four would be my pick for second best to Super Sunday. The Final Four is special. You get those two games that come here on that Saturday, and then you wait Sunday, and then Monday night is the big game to win it all. I just absolutely love the Final Four. I love March Madness. It is second to me from the Super Bowl. So I would say Super Bowl, March Madness, NFL draft.
Where's the Final
obviously.
Four this year?
Final Four is in New Orleans.
Oh, New Orleans.
New Orleans.
See?
To New Orleans.
I mean, nobody knows what the Final Four. Well, I mean, I know. I'm just.
Yeah, the average person wouldn't have got it right. To your point,
I'm talking about the
I
average
definitely said San Antonio. I forgot that was
It's
the
just
elite.
It's just a great tournament.
I know. I'm
and
just
it
trying
comes
to make a point.
comes to fruition.
I was going back and forth. I was trying to decide between Final Four, NFL draft, and then it was just those two. And I'm going
College
back and forth.
football national championship.
Something about the national championship, I just don't know. Like it's huge for us. Like, and it's huge for college, but for something it just doesn't register with those two.
Yeah.
And I would ultimately think Ryan's what he said, he's right. I would go with the NFL draft. I think that's because more people are a part of it.
Yeah.
Like, it's a longer process. We've been talking about the NFL draft since September. Mm-hmm. If you want to be honest, we've been talking about the NFL draft since September. I think more people are a part of it. It's 32 franchises. Final Four, it's 4 teams.
No doubt.
It's 4 franchises. So it's literally it's Villanova's fan base, it's UNC, it's Duke, and then it's Kansas. That's it. With the NFL, It's the biggest sport in the country. It's the biggest sport in the world. If you want to be honest, I get views on soccer, but it's the biggest sport in the world.
It's the biggest.
And then there's 32 teams involved. It's 32 situations involved. It's real money. It's big time. It's not amateur. I would have to agree.
And you're talking about you're also talking about NFL versus college basketball,
amateur and pro,
ultimately.
But this is a college town,
and I understand
you're living when I grew up. That ain't a college. New York and New Jersey, it's not a college. We're all pro there. We got our little teams like St. John, St. Peter's, Seton Hall, et cetera, et cetera. You guys got Michigan and Michigan State. Never mind the MAC teams.
Right. Meanwhile, all they care about is Detroit Lions.
But I feel like
I do. I love the NFL. You know that.
I also feel like the NFL draft is for the people. You know, these other sporting events, the Super Bowl, the Final Four. I mean, the Final Four.
How about the All-Star game?
Even the All-Star game, okay? It's one day, by the way. It's one day. 2 days if you want to do the home run derby.
It lost its luster.
It did lose its luster. And, again, you talk about the price to get in the stadiums. The Super Bowl is forget it, okay? Super Bowl, forget it.
Forget it now.
Final Four. Almost forget it, unless you want to go sit up 500 feet above.
If your team's not in it, if Michigan State's in it, not in it, you can get in for a very reasonable price.
And sit a million miles away and watch your nose bleed right from that little dinky court.
Unless you have it at Little Caesars Arena.
You're not going to have a Final Four at Little Caesars Arena. You're going to have it in a stadium like Ford Field, like they did in 2009. The NFL draft is for the people. I mean, if you're in Chicago, Cleveland, Cincinnati, Green Bay, Indianapolis, Buffalo, I mean, you can come up at really no cost. No tickets. You just come watch the draft.
Not to mention, everybody has migrated to whatever city is going to be in from various places, and everybody has a representation. Detroit has a representation of all 32 NFL teams. Somebody has moved here in the 40s or the 50s or 60s or 70s, and their family is here. They live in Detroit, but they're Cardinals fans, or they live in Detroit, and they're Eagles fans, etc. So 100% I agree with you, and it's just a bigger event. Because you can go from a year-long event, but if you just want to do the week of the draft, it's a week-long event, man. Like bringing the city in, talking about the teams, who's going to draft who, making a person fall in love with a franchise because they cheer for this guy in college. So I agree with you. NFL draft is the next biggest thing other than the Super Bowl.
Later today, Stick is going to be reaching out to Evan Stout, a.k.a. Dabber, on the YouTube chat.
Evan Stout is Detroit Dabber?
He was selected for a Woodward Sports College basketball finals New Orleans trip. And, of course, Stick going to get out to him. He's got to make a couple of shots. Basketball shots are going to be to the gym. I mean, I don't know how that works. All I know is that
you got to do the layup.
Yep.
Then you got to go with the free throw, then the three-pointer, and then a half court. And I think you get 30 seconds to do
something like that. But he's the guy. So he's going to get a call later today. So congratulations to him. Guys, Rod Wood talked about Deshaun Watson and why they didn't pursue him.
Oh, my.
Want to get your take on that?
We'll see if you're still giving him compliments after this.
Armani and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
Gucci mama.
Everything that we've hoped for, finally.
He's going deep, right side. Oh, that is Edwards out there. He goes up in the air at the goal line.
Hey, it's Brandon Edwards here, wanting to welcome the sports marketing agency to Woodward Sports Network, to the family. Glad to have you guys. For the last decade, the sports marketing agency has literally leveraged athletes around issues such as mental health and substance abuse.
NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991. Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
Citron World is an aspirational lifestyle beverage brand with a line of sparkling flavored energy drinks, premium bottled water, and revitalizer shots. Citron is the official energy drink of the Detroit Red Wings and proud partners with the Detroit Pistons, exclusively sold here at Birmingham Roast, as well as LCA. Listen here. Citron wants to be here for the moments, and guess what? They are a part of the moments. This year, my sister announced that she was having a baby. Guess what? It's going to be a baby girl. Citron was there. We were at the we weren't at the Super Bowl. We had a Super Bowl party. We got the chance to see Matthew Stafford finally get a ring. Citron was there. I was at Ford Field when the Detroit Lions beat the Arizona Cardinals, who were at the time were 10-2. I was there. Guess who else was there? Citron was there. So they're not BSing when they tell you they are here for the moments. Drink it, live it with Citron.
Hour number 2 of the program, Armani and Edwards. Ryan Armani, Braylon Edwards, Tom Mazaway. We've got Alex Mayer, Sam Reynolds, having a lot of fun on this Tuesday in the Motor City. Gents.
Hey, boys, before you get into Rod Wood and why he didn't talk about Deshaun Watson, I just want to put a couple pictures up of my uniform, my Billy Sims Lion uniforms. You're going to tell me those 2 uniforms right there are not gorgeous?
Yep.
That's Honolulu blue and silver, not gray.
That
Honolulu blue and silver.
What you're looking at right there. Okay, are you ready for this? I want you to be ready. You sure?
I'm ready.
You're looking at 6 and 12. Excuse me, 6 and 11. 6 and 11. Yep. That's what 6 and 11 looks like.
Keep going.
Like actually, it may be what 5 and 12 looks like. It may be what 4 and 13
Look at that
looks
uniform.
like. Listen, it's cool. I like a lot of old school uniforms. Sometimes you like them more when they're older. They're nostalgic vintage pieces. You can go back and like, hey, man, this is what Billy Sims had on in 1971. It's cool. To see that uniform for 17 games, stop it.
And again, I don't want to go backwards here. I want to go forwards into the next generation.
That's forward.
I want, and again,
it's backwards.
Just as an illustration of my point regarding this, Braylon, when you played for the University of Michigan, teams would walk into the big house, see the helmets, and they've already lost the game before the first quarter even kicked off, before it even started. Conversely, when I think people see that Lions logo, when people see that Lions helmet, they know they've won already. They just show up and win. It's over. So I would like to change that mindset. Yeah. I would like to change that perception. And I think the Lions, who say they're not going to make any uniform changes in 2022, I think that's a bit of a mistake.
I think Ryan, I understand where Ryan is coming from. Now, obviously, Michigan, that winged helmet was around for a much longer time than the Detroit Lions, so they had a chance to build up to that, to where you were scared of that helmet, you were scared of the tunnel, and you were scared to 100,000+. But just looking at the Detroit Lions, looking at what you're talking about, the Denver Broncos, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, there was something about the Denver Broncos when you saw that stripe. When they added that orange stripe on the blue pants, when they added that blue stripe on the white pants, like, it was dope. And not to mention, they still had a really good team. They had John Elway. You had Neil Smith. You had Rod Smith. You had Terrell Davis, touchdown. You had the salute, and then they won Super Bowls. But to your point, you feel better when you're in something new. Like if you just feel better.
I got you there.
You feel better. Look at the Falcons.
I got
you
there.
The Falcons, you start off in one uniform, and then Mike Vick. Then you get the new Falcons uniforms, and it's something about a new uniform, a new look, something edgy, something that pans to now, something that pans to 2-3 years from now. When you wear it, like, I give you an example, and I'm done talking. Seattle Seahawks. Like, I wasn't there when they switched the uniforms.
Boom.
I think they did it the year before, but it was only the second year
My
ago
wife
wearing
loves those
uniforms. And I put the uniform on. It's the first time I put it on, and obviously you don't wear the same uniforms in practice. So the first time we had preseason game, we showed that touchdown against the Titans. Man, I put that uniform on in the locker room that day. I was like, yo, these uniforms a little different. Made you feel different, made you feel special, man. You're absolutely right. There is a feeling when you put on something dope. Not only when it's new and it's fly and it's fresh, and you like, we could beat somebody's butt with these on. So you're right. You do want to change it? Next year is the day.
I was going to ask you, Braylon, what is Browns, Jets, 49ers, Seahawks? Am I missing anybody?
Nah.
Which of those uniforms did you love putting on the best, and which one were you like, I hate this uniform?
You're cheating with that, by the way. You're damn good at what you do. So listen, the best one that I put on for me personally as a bias is the 49ers uniform, because I grew up a 49ers fan.
And what does it resemble?
Winning. It's winning. You put it on.
And what's the worst uniform you put on?
Lake Erie.
The Browns, because why? What does it represent? losing.
El Boogie.
It ain't rocket science,
It's
people.
not. Woo! Wait a minute.
Look
Hold
at that.
on. Look at that.
17.
Okay, Alex.
Hell yeah.
Look at that.
My goodness. Look at those guns.
Planet Fitness, baby. I was in the gym every day.
$10.
I'm trying to tell. I was drinking Centron, too.
Only $10.
Only $10 to get guns like that.
My goodness.
Oh, mama.
Yeah. No, you're
What'd
right.
I tell you? Browns, 49ers.
I back up.
Losing, winning. Can we change the freaking uniforms?
And the good thing about when you mention the 49ers is 49ers have done it in such a way. Some teams have never changed. You look at the Raiders. Raiders don't have to change. You look at the Browns. They've never changed. The Lions have tried to change. It just hasn't worked. The 49ers have changed a little bit, but they add a little bit here and there. They went to the white. They went to the stripe. It's 100%. That's what I was looking for. It's an accent. Keep the gold helmets. They've done it the right way. They've probably done it the best of teams that had success. So you're right, man. There's something about putting on something new when you don't have that championship pedigree. Lions don't have a winning pedigree. When you look at our franchise, it's not a winning pedigree. So you, of all people, you can change. At least the Browns, they got the 50s and the 60s.
Go ahead, Maz. Go ahead. Tell me I'm right.
There it is.
I need my Giants to go back to the Giants. I need my Jets to go back to the sack exchange.
Look at that
Jets.
uniform, man. That is a classic.
It's one of the best.
Winning
Okay, Ryan.
uniform.
Okay, Ryan. Okay.
You understand? Yeah.
Okay.
Bring it in.
All right. But I have to approve the Lion.
Fine.
We'll give you that.
Approve the Lion.
Of all you've been through, you deserve that. I see a middle finger. It must be Adam Baydoun.
Adam walks in.
Adam wants a middle finger. He wants a middle finger on the helmet.
Hey, this is real. A middle finger with something above it. That's Adam Baydoun. God love him.
Guys, so Rod Wood says was asked a question. Now, many people may not think that Rod Wood should be answering any questions about personnel regarding the Lions. But he was asked a question and he answered it. You might not like his answer, and I don't know how I feel about his answer, to be honest with you. But Rod Wood asked about if the Lions pursued Deshaun Watson, and here's what the answer was. This, according to Dave Burkett on Twitter. We have a quarterback, so we were never in the game for that. I don't want to get into the off the field stuff and what the Browns talked about, what they did, and the other teams that pursued him, but it just wasn't part of our plans.
Everybody has a quarterback.
And I think that was just a hard no from the Lions ownership, and it was Rod Wood to deliver that.
Yeah, but why?
Listen.
I don't know. Did Sheila answer it? Because
I
feel like Rod Wood speaks for ownership.
Yeah.
Sheila.
I would agree with you there. I think he has spoke for ownership in the past. I think he has spoke for most of Sheila E. I keep saying that Sheila Ham.
How do you not?
People are digging your Sheila E. online.
She's
here,
a great
by the way.
musician, man. Like Love Bazaar is one of my favorite songs. But with that being said, this is what you talk about with Rod Wood. You're like, you didn't even try to go in. Hey, look, Detroit Lions, Rod Wood, to do something you have never done, to achieve something you have never done. You've never been to a Super Bowl. You've never won a Super Bowl. You've hosted, but you've never been. You never won. To do something and go somewhere you've never been, you got to do something you've never done. So all this about getting choir boys and all this about getting guys that are academic standouts or getting blah, blah, blah. Sometimes you got to give individuals second chances. Sometimes you got to go after people that are good people. They're good players. They just made mistakes or they didn't make mistakes and it was all a narrative. Sometimes you got to do these things in life. Now, which ones you pick, that's up to you. But, man, I'm tired of hearing this. Oh, they're not a Lions guy. They're not a Michigan guy. I don't want to hear that stuff.
Hey, you hit it on the head, and I'm only going to add to it. At least the Browns, maybe they're not changing their uniforms, but they're changing their attitude.
Yeah.
They're trying to win. All right? What
Yeah.
the Lions did showed me, they have these new guys, and they're doing it their way. But by not going after Deshaun Watson tells me that you're really not 100% in with your chips at the end of the table. I know the Browns are further along than the Lions. That's the only thing that I would say is an excuse. Cleveland is going for it. They've got the tools. They're going for it. But the Lions, to not try to get a 26-year-old, unbelievably talented quarterback is not good.
Just stay with the regular rhetoric. Just stay with the one answer. The one answer could have been, hey, you know what? The reason why we didn't go after Deshaun Watson, there's too much going on off the field. There's too much uncertainty. We don't know if he did or didn't. We weren't in those rooms. It's not something that we want to deal with. It's not something that we want to figure it out. You give me that answer, you know what? Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you tell me we got our quarterback and then you say all that other stuff, well, the other stuff doesn't matter.
Speaking of the Lions quarterback position, will Malik Willis be on that list? Braylon, you've got some homework on what the Lions have done in terms of first-round quarterbacks.
Don't tell me that.
History-wise.
History speaking.
It's not looking good for us, man.
Braylon Edwards, next on the history of the Detroit Lions quarterback positions. First-rounders. Woo! Armani and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
I'm going to go to the bathroom.
You should. You're not going to like it. You're not going to like none of this. Stay out.
I'm Kay Cunningham. Working with Hall Financial to purchase my first home was easier than I could have ever imagined. They treated me like family from start to finish. Find out for yourself at callhallfirst.com.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Hey, gang! Hey. I want to tell you about Guardian Alarm. They're your local security experts, have been for over 90 years. You see that black and yellow sign out in front of your house. It tells the bad guys one thing. What does it say?
Stay the hell out.
That's what it tells the bad guys. You're right. A good defense on and off the field for your home or your business helps you feel secure. Guardian Alarm has state-of-the-art technology that helps you feel safe. 24/7 local monitoring. Guardian Alarm also has convenient features that let you check in on your home or your business, control your lights, your temperatures, detect smoke, carbon monoxide, even gonna let you lock and unlock your doors. All you have to do is call that number above my head right now.
Is that it?
That's it.
Oh, man.
That's all you gotta do. 1-800-STAY out of there. That number again, 1-800-STAY out.
Stay out.
Guardian Alarm, your local security experts.
Stay out of here, buddy.
Braylon, if the Detroit Lions select Malik Willis with their first-round pick, or hell, even if they take a guy like Sam Howell at 32, it would still be a first-round pick at quarterback. You went back over the franchise's history.
I did.
And found some very damning information.
I found some very damning information. The one thing about talking to you guys on the daily, whether you guys are listening to us, whether you guys are viewing us, you're watching us, is you guys have good insight too. You guys do your homework, you do your research. So it forces us to do our homework and research. Ryan and I jumped on the bandwagon of wanting Malik Willis, thinking you need to have one of these young quarterbacks, these perennial potential Pro Bowlers, guys that can move in the pocket, out of the pocket, big arms. Got to have one of these guys on a rookie deal to win the Super Bowl. So I went back and I said, hey, you know what? What have the Lions done in the past? What have the Lions done as it relates to drafting first-round quarterback? Well, guess what? The Lions have drafted, in the history of the program, 11. I take that back. 1, 2, 3. Was I right about that? 9. They've taken 9 first-round quarterbacks. 9. Since the first draft, and here's what the results have been of those quarterbacks. First quarterback they ever took, 1940, took Doyle Nave out of USC.
Doyle Alexander?
Pick 6 overall. Give me another one of those, because the guy played one season, and then he went to play for a team in Hawaii. Wasn't even in the NFL. 1948, drafted Y.A. Tittle.
No, they got Y.A. Tittle?
A Hall of Famer.
He won some championships.
Guess what? He, in turns, goes to World War II, comes back. When he comes back, they didn't own the right, so when he came back, he played for a team that you might know, the New York Giants. Oh, yeah, he's a Hall of Famer, too. So no luck there. 1949, a year later, they picked John Roach out of UGA. So Matt Stafford's not the first quarterback drafted out of Georgia. Pick him number 2 overall. 0 years played for the Detroit Lions. 1964, Pete Beathard. USC pick 5, 0 years. He chose to go to the AFL instead. I believe he played for the Eagles and the Bulldogs. 1967, here's Greg Landry, UMass, pick 7. Oh, man, Greg Landry.
Good old number 11.
10 years. Now, he's giving you the best so far. He gave you 10 years. He was all pro, and he was a Pro Bowler.
Good runner.
So far, he's the best. Chuck Long, 1986. How could you go wrong on Chuck Long? Three-time All Big Ten, MVP, Maxwell, Davey O'Brien winner, finished runner-up in the Heisman Trophy. How could you go wrong with that? Played 4 years and did nothing for the Detroit Lions. Did nothing. That's another miss. 1990, another Heisman candidate, but guess what? This time he won. Andre Ware, University of Houston, won the Heisman. Here he is. We got a Heisman Trophy winner. He had 2 touchdowns in his whole career. Won the Grey Cup, though, in Canada. Shout out to our boy.
He's a good college analyst.
Fish, exactly. He's a really good college. Shout out to Fish, who loves the Grey Cup. Didn't do anything. Here you go. 1991, y'all played Eric Kramer. We didn't draft him, but I had to mention that. You played Eric Kramer. You dropped the ball because you thought about some guy named Scott Mitchell that you had who did okay, but Eric Kramer was the guy. You blew it again. 1991, that's what happened. 2002, Joey Harrington. Oh, man, remember that guy? Remember that guy? Out of Oregon? Or University of Oregon put the billboard up in Times Square so that he could win the Heisman. Now, it didn't work. He finished 3rd in the Heisman. Guess what? Also didn't work here. Now, that's not his fault. Like a similar situation with Dave Carr with Houston Texans. And then Matthew Stafford.
Matt Millen.
2009. Now, you can say it worked. You can say it didn't work. Didn't win a playoff game. Got to the playoff game. Was it the Lions' fault? Was it his fault? Did he not show up in the big moment? That's all up for discussion. But the bottom line is, as the name of the show, drafting a quarterback in the first round for the Detroit Lions history, not the last 10 years, not the last 20 years, not the last 30 years, the history, 1940, it just has not worked. So Lions fans, Lions ownership, I warn you, be careful.
One guy you can even make an argument
that he was 82 good. Years.
One guy.
82 years.
Like, you can make an argument. And
that's not.
Many people, you look at being a first overall, number 1 pick, number 1 overall pick, to not win a playoff game in 12 years. Some might even call that a failure.
And it's almost to the point where, what have we been talking about all year? Maz loves to ask this question. Whenever we have a guest on, it's one of his favorite questions. Why hasn't it worked in Detroit? And are we cursed? Now, the first question, we know the answer to that. The second one is interesting because you're like, are we cursed? Are we not cursed? You look at this, hey, I'm not saying it walked like a duck, quack like a duck, and it's a duck, but I'm saying it walked like a duck, quack like a duck. Could be a duck. Could be a curse on that. Spade is spade.
It really hurts me to hear that list.
And here's exactly why you have to change the
By the
uniform.
way, the Lions drafted Otto Graham.
Yeah.
And he didn't play for us either. Otto Graham. He's only one of the best players in NFL history.
Why did he play for us?
He wore number 60 as a quarterback.
Somebody's got to break the cycle, right? And the only way to break the cycle is if you
continue to do it until it works.
What did Mike Tannenbaum say?
Keep drafting them.
Green Bay?
Drafting them.
Yeah.
Keep drafting the quarterback. And that's what the Lions have to do. Now, if you believe what the news coming out of Jacksonville here. So news out of Jacksonville is that they are heavily now considering Trayvon Walker to be their number 1 overall pick. So this on Twitter from Tony Pauline.
Sources have confirmed that the Jaguars have targeted Walker as a player that could take the first-round pick. Sources have also confirmed that Walker will be sitting down with the front office and top brass of the organization in the coming weeks. The team will do this and do its due diligence on Georgia's defensive lineman.
I mean, look at his workout. He's a beast. We've been saying that since. I mean, you guys sold me on him. Until
this guy did.
Yeah.
Give Braylon all the credit.
Until Malik Willis' name popped up, that was my guy right there.
So the thing about Trayvon Walker that really is highlighted to me is that you could have a player go 1 in this draft, you can have a player go 10. I'm not sure we've ever really seen that in the modern era. And Maz, you would probably know more than us as the draft historian that you are. I can't think of a time where a player could go anywhere in the top 20. Malik Willis could go second. He could go first, really.
He could.
He could go first overall if Carolina wants to trade up above Detroit. He could go first. He could go 20th to the Steelers.
I think what you're saying, the reason because of that is this. when you first open up mock drafts, you kind of open up, you start talking at that halfway point of a college season, and then the end of the season, end of the bowl season, everything is a speculation. Like in the beginning, everybody's kind of having fun. Everybody's trying to create the take. Everybody's like, hey, this is the guy. Hey, this is the guy. Hey, these are the top 5 guys. And then slowly but surely, guys start working out. You start to really do your in-depth homework. And then there's something called the combine that happens. And then there's something that it's called pro day what happens. Once you get through the combine and once you get through pro day, now you're stuck with those 10 guys that everybody kind of knows is the guy. That 10 list, that really hasn't changed in the last week and a half. That list has been the same. Now, they've moved up. Trayvon Walker was at number 7 last week. Now he's at number 2. Now he's potentially number 1. The only thing with the quarterbacks is everybody needs a quarterback now. So those will always be based on the team need. But it's always fun and games from November to, I would say, end of February, early March. Once you get past pro day, now you get locked into those top 10 and you figure out where those guys are going to go. The guys that are on that top 10 spectrum right now, they ain't going nowhere.
If you're watching on YouTube, we'd certainly appreciate if you guys could hit that like button. We'd really appreciate it. It helps YouTube get our content out to more people, more eyeballs, better for everybody. Kyle Bonnke puts this on Twitter. I know everyone expects the Jags to go Aiden Hutchinson now, and I do too. But Jags coach Doug Peterson is here at the owners' meetings insisting the free agency moves on the offensive line do not affect their draft plan. Quote, you can never have too many offensive linemen. And that is a question, by the way, that I posed to God, who was that? Sorry, I know hitting this table is not good for the listeners.
Hey, man, we're working hard.
Who was that? Who are we talking to? Was it Burkett? Dave Burkett. I'm not convinced that the Lions won't take an offensive lineman there, to be quite honest with you. If you are just going down, okay, let me take a break, and I'll tell you.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just thinking about
Let me take a break.
So.
I got to get a break, and I'll tell you exactly why. Armani and Edwards.
There's a couple good ones out there.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line. They got a good line.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
Go! Detroit Sports on Demand.
DeAndre Swift, he's going to take it all the way for the touchdown.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app today. Take us with you everywhere you go. Search Woodward Sports Network or WSN Live.
Hey, everybody, it's Maz for opening day.
Don't look so happy.
April the 8th.
I'll be there with you, buddy.
It's Detroit
I'll be there with you.
Woodward Sports opening day. I'm sorry, I fell asleep on this one. Woodward Sports morning show. The Morning Wood, live from the Brass Rail, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m., followed by Big D Energy. They're going to be live from the Music Hall Amphitheater from 11 to 1. And the bottom line, that's us, the Brass Rail, right back there for the great pizza at 2 to 4 o'clock every day. That is Friday, April the 8th. Celebrate the first real opening day in 3 years. Live broadcast, home opening parties, live DJs, keg holding competition, and a lot more. Join us for Detroit's opening day, April the 8th, right here on Woodward Sports.
Yo, and at opening day or close to opening day, we'll be at the Brass Rail. Be excited. Guess what? We will be drinking some of that gypsy vodka. We're 2 to 4. I might have some of that gypsy vodka right around that 3:30, that sweet spot, because it is so smooth, man. And they're doing things. They're very creative. That the ingenuity that is Adam and Mike, that is Michigan State in this product, it is very exceptional. Gluten-free, 6 times corn distilled. Oh my God. I had to take a pause because the stuff is good.
Gluten-free?
Really, hey, man, I'm trying to tell you, gluten-free is the new wave. At least that's how this tastes. It's going to be chill. You got Miggy out there against the White Sox. You got Gypsy Vodka, the Brass Rail. It's going to be a thing of beauty. Remember, if you're going to drink, ladies and gentlemen, always drink responsible. Learn the words Uber.
All right, guys, just before we move to some other NFL news and notes today that we have coming out of the Breakers in Palm Beach,
Nice
for the
hotel,
NFL.
by the way.
Huh?
I've been there.
It's so nice.
It's a nice spot.
Absolutely.
It's a nice spot.
Good spot.
Pretty good gig if you can go cover the team there.
I'm a lot of people talking about Doug Peterson today, according to Kyle Meinke, saying you can never have enough offensive linemen, and a lot of people think that the Jags are taking Aiden Hutchinson, but it is not a lock. They could go O-line there. They could go Trayvon Walker there. I too am not convinced, and I asked Dave Burkett this when we had him on last week. I'm not convinced that you won't hear an offensive lineman's name with the second selection in the NFL draft going to the Detroit Lions. I'm just not convinced of it. If the Lions do go by their board, if they feel like they're in a position to go just down their board, if they have an offensive lineman as the number one player on their board or the number two player on their board behind Aiden Hutchinson, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibilities that they don't select that O-lineman. I don't want them to.
That would be crazy, I think. Really crazy. I think they'd be made fun of on national TV. And they might take the 2024 draft away from us in Detroit if they take another offensive
I would be very
lineman.
disappointed. I'm just not convinced.
If you want to do that, then the second half of that deal was you have to trade Penei Sewell over to the Cowboys for Micah Parsons. Okay? If that's what you're going to do, then that's what you have to do.
The interesting thing about that is, especially as I just outlined all the quarterbacks that have gone in the first round for the Detroit Lions, you're like, maybe it can happen again. You don't believe that's going to be the case. They have a really good offensive line. You look at Taylor Decker when he came back. That team was really stout. They were really firm. You moved Penei Sewell over. Much was made about him not moving over, him staying left tackle. They moved it over. It worked. Had a lot of success in the running game in the mid-November to the end of December. So, yes, they have a really good line. You got Frank Ragnow coming back. They paid the backup lineman.
Dude, Evan Brown was almost a Pro Bowler last year. Undrafted free agent.
So with your comment, yes, you can see anything happen, especially it's the Detroit Lions. You can see anything happen. I just can't believe that Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell will go down this rabbit hole and making the mistake again. I don't believe them to be taken. Listen, I get it, Aquanu. I get it with Evan Neal. I get it. They got some good guys in this draft. But you know what you need. You got a good offensive line already. Actually, you have a damn good offensive line right now. Take a page out of the Chiefs playbook, man.
Are offensive linemen like DBs? You could never have enough of them? I mean, if you believe your quarterback isn't ultimately a game changer, do you try to protect him as all get out? I'm asking the question. I think it would be. Let me just preface this.
Yep.
I think it would be malfeasance. I think it would be horrific.
I'd rather have Kyle Hamilton than an offensive lineman.
Without question.
And I don't want Kyle Hamilton.
I'd rather have Kayvon Thibodeau.
Yeah. He's end up proving better than a lot of people
I'd rather
think,
have Derek Stingley Jr.
It's a good pick, too.
If you're going to reach, then reach for one of those guys.
Right. I'm with you. Okay.
Yeah, I just think, and we can put a pin in it, we'll dead it. I just think the one position that you really do have a good, the position which is offensive line, you actually have a good offensive line. You actually have some players. You actually have some good backups as well. That's the one position
Strongest
that's already strong. Stay the hell away from that unit. Don't pay attention. If I see a line on the board, close your eyes.
Amen to that.
Jesus.
And I almost don't want to keep continuing to put it out there.
Because it happens. What you put out there comes true.
Right, I don't want to keep putting it out there. Guys, Andy Reid says Kansas City wanted to keep Tyreek Hill as we go around the NFL right now. Andy Reid here at the Coaches Breakfast for the NFL's annual meeting. I love Tyreek. There was no riff with me and Tyreek. We tried to sign Tyreek at a certain cost. That according to Nate Taylor on Twitter at @ByNateTaylor. Here's the thing. Once you pay your quarterback $50 million a year, somebody's got to go. Somebody's got to go. Somebody's not getting their money. And this ultimately was Tyreek Hill.
That's what you said. You're starting to see the thing, man. You talk about Matt LaFleur's came out after Andy Reid. He said, hey, we wanted Devontae, but Devontae was his call. It was his call on leaving. Same thing with Tyreek. When you pay these quarterbacks, like you said, $500 million to Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson had a $40 million deal 4 years ago in the NFL, 5 years ago, excuse me. Now Aaron Rodgers, 3 years, $150. Like, when you're paying these guys, you don't have room. And everybody says, you know what? It's so many good receivers in this draft. It's so many good receivers now. The way in which they work. I've been an advocate of telling you how these guys are preparing before they get into college now, how these guys are snapshot ready. You look at that list. Everybody on that list, and I know it's not up right now, but everybody that was on that list of wide receivers as I was breaking down, they can play. They can ball. This is a heavy wide receiver class from first round all the way through 7th round. With that being said, you look at a guy like Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, 38 receptions is the most he's ever thrown a rookie. 38 receptions. 38 receptions. Aaron Rodgers, all that success that he has, he's had it with Jordy Nelson. Oh my God, he was an experienced player. Greg Jones, Greg Jennings, James Jones, Donald Driver, Davante Adams. The list goes on. He's had it with experienced veteran wide receivers. There's been no proof of him just throwing in some rookies and making it work. Look at even Tyreek Hill and what they're doing with the Kansas City Chiefs. Tyreek Hill was balling before Patrick Mahomes was. Tariq's first Pro Bowl year was with Alex Smith. It wasn't with Patrick Mahomes. So he's more part of that offense. He's more part of like with the success that they had. Patrick Mahomes is to a certain extent. You can't just replace some of these players, man, and think that you're going to go on being what you thought you were.
Go back to that number 1 pick for a second. When you're talking about wide receivers.
Yep.
And, again, I'll say I'd rather have a defensive back, safety at this point than an offensive lineman. And I'm not talking about in general. I'm talking about the Lions because the Lions are set at offensive line. They're set. People argue with me last year. You don't take a linebacker, you take an offensive lineman first. Chad will tell us that all the time. To me, I saw a great player.
Right.
You should have taken him. How about the Lions go out
Drake
and screw everyone and take Drake?
I knew you were going to say that.
Why not? Because the Jets at 4.
Take the best wide receiver available
The
on the
Jets
board.
at 4 are going to grab him. Drake London's going to go to the Jets. The Jets have extra picks. Hey, Jets, you want him? Pay me.
I would be horrified if the Lions took an offensive lineman at number 2 overall. I'd be.
But how
horrified
about a receiver?
I'd absolutely take.
Do you remember what I said weeks ago? Yeah. Take the receiver up high, and you guys said no. Now the receivers are all of a sudden the hottest commodity in the league.
I'd have to know either or. You give me Drake London or an offensive lineman and take Drake London.
How about Chris Olave?
Or Chris Olave, or insert your top-rated wide receiver. You take your top right. I want Malik Willis there.
Right.
I do as well.
Above anybody else.
I do as well.
Yeah, I love that you said, take a receiver because we don't need a lineman. Let's call it. I almost
that's
said it,
done.
Alex. We don't need a lineman. We have a really good offensive line. Proud. Finally, we have one. But if you want to go a route like that, take your best player. And you don't want Malik Willis. According to Rod Wood, you guys have a quarterback. Then go after a guy like Drake. Who cares? Go after a guy like Drake London. The way in which the NFL is set up these days, it's set up for the offensive. It's set up not only just for the offensive, it's set up for smaller guys like AB and Tyreek Hill and all these small, fast wide receivers. Drake London is a mismatch on linebackers, safeties, defensive backs, can run, can jump. So, if you want to
pair him with Amon-Ra again.
You pair him with Amon-Ra, you pair him with DJ Chark, you pair him with Quintez Cephas, who's coming back, you pair him. So,
And who's his favorite team?
Detroit Lions. Guys, it was very apparent that Davante Adams' favorite team was not the Green Bay Packers. Braylon, you're going to break down that situation.
Man.
Looks like Matt LaFleur wanted to keep him, and they were ready to match that contract. And Davante said, peace. We'll be right back. I'm Onion Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line. He wouldn't look for that Raiders hat when he was choosing on signing day. He picked up the Raiders hat.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play. And before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Hey, everybody. It's Maz from MyBookie.ag, and the promo code is Woodward. Please use that code. It gives us excellent. Well, MyBookie likes us better if you use the promo code Woodward. And they're going to give you money, too. Free money. They'll double your first deposit all the way up to $1,000. That's your money to do what you want with it. You don't have to bet it. You can just leave it in your account, take it out later on, whatever you want to do. March Madness is here. It's coming down to the Final Four. Game number 1 on Saturday. Number 2, Villanova against number 1, Kansas. The Jayhawks, a 4.5-point favorite in that game. The over-under, 133. Then the 8:49 tip, number 8, North Carolina. Number 2, Duke. For the first time ever, they are playing in the Final Four against each other. Isn't that amazing? Duke, a 4-point favorite. Over-under, 151. They're expecting a little bit more of an offensive gain in that one. So get on board right now. MyBookie.ag. The promo code is Woodward. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere, especially in March, right there with MyBookie.ag. If you have a gambling problem, please use the Michigan Gambling Hotline, 1-800-270-7117.
And while you're hitting and watching the big games, why don't you eat at Wing Snob? Find a location, wingsnob.com. That's right, fresh, juicy, hormone-free chicken. Wing Snob has the best traditional wings. Try out their signature sauces, Jamaican jerk, or lemon pepper. I love that lemon pepper.
Man,
so
it's fire.
good. Ooh-wee. Wings tossed to perfection in any sauce you pick. When the wings are this good, you're allowed to be a snob. Order online, wingsnob.com, wingsnob.com. Wingsnob, we just have better wings.
I'm starving.
Those wings are fire, man.
Very good.
They might be on to something with that, with their moniker. They might be on to something.
Very good.
You gonna make it? You gonna make it?
No. I'm just throwing it to that.
Man, you guys are terrible.
Braylon, Matt LaFleur hated to see Davante Adams leave. Sure, why wouldn't he? But regardless what the Green Bay Packers were going to do, Davante Adams was gone.
Listen, I don't know if Matt LaFleur. Let me restart that. Matt LaFleur definitely was sad to see Davante Adams, and if you heard the conversation, if you heard his voice in it, you could tell that he really appreciates Davante Adams. Really liked Davante Adams as a player. He talked about him being a leader on the field. He talked about him being the best wide receiver over the past 4 or 5 years. Talked about him growing each year. Like, you can tell he misses him, but what you can really tell is this is one of those examples of what Aaron Rodgers has done to the Green Bay Packers organization. He's held them hostage for 2 years. He's demanded things that he wanted. Bring back Randall Cobb. I need this money. I might retire. I may not retire. I might be vaxxed. I might not be vaxxed. He's held them hostage for 2 years of on and off the field. Now, when we say off the field, we're usually talking about things that happen with the law or legal. Not talking about that. Just things in the front office, decision-making, like making their decision-making even that much harder. Davante Adams is a guy that, as Chad is just pulling up. What up, Chad? As Davante Adams is still a young guy, Davante is the best wide receiver in the league, and he's only been in the league 6 years. That means he has a lot of time left. They want a guy like that. Aaron Rodgers, you don't know what you're getting from him right now. Like, Aaron Rodgers may decide he doesn't want to play next year. Hey, you guys can have this $100 million back. I'll just take this 50. You don't know what you're going to get out of Aaron Rodgers, and I think Matt LaFleur is just weighing heavy on him. He's had to deal with Aaron Rodgers, for good or for bad, or good or for worse, for the last 3 years, and you're starting to see when you get all that money, all that buku cash, you can't pay everybody, and the wide receivers are typically leaving now.
You know, Aaron Rodgers did hold this franchise hostage for so many years, specifically the last really 2 or 3 with his antics in the offseason. And am I going to show up to OTAs? Am I going to show up to training
Jordan
camp?
Love 3 years ago, I'm angry, I'm pissed.
Exactly.
You didn't talk to me.
I mean, am I going to sign this contract? What am I going to do? Oh, it's all good. Aaron will be here when the season starts in September. Davante Adams clearly was a guy that was not having it. And good for Davante Adams. Absolutely. And I think so many times, you know, we take the side of what we know, the quarterback. The quarterback's got to get paid. Everybody else. You know, Aaron Rodgers isn't Aaron Rodgers without Davante Adams. I want to see him do it a full season. As I said before, I think the Green Bay Packers are a 7-win football team this year. I think they don't win more than 7 games this year. Been consistent on that. It's just something about that franchise I feel like is some chinks in the armor and is falling apart. I think they're on a downward spiral.
The big thing is, everybody think that's the new formula. The new formula is so many wide receivers out there. Hey, you know what? You don't want to be happy here. You go somewhere else. Hey, you have success somewhere. We'll replace you. We'll bring somebody else in. It's okay. We have Jahan Dotson. We have Chris Olave. We have Garrett Wilson. We have Treylon Burks. We have, and the list goes on. Actually, no, the list doesn't go on. Davante Adams is a man-child. Davante Adams, what he does, he's the scariest wide receiver in the NFL in terms of being at the line of scrimmage, in terms of running routes, in terms of once he gets inside that 20 and in, a.k.a. the red zone, he is phenomenal. You can't just replace that. You can't just go to another team and say, hey, you know what? Yo, we got rid of Devontae Adams, but we're going to bring you in Jahan Dotson out of Penn State. What up, Chad? We're going to bring you in here, Chris Olave, and let you do your thing. That's not going to happen. Tyreek Hill. The Chiefs are like, well, he wanted too much money. We couldn't pay Tyreek Hill. How the hell are you going to find another Tyreek Hill? He was there before Patrick Mahomes. He's a walking touchdown. The things that he does, you can't replace that. So good luck with your Chris Olaves, your Jahan Dotsons, but it remains to be seen. Because these quarterbacks that sign these big deals, Chad, out of all of them, ain't nobody won the Super Bowl yet.
Big facts.
Patrick
Love this guy
Mahomes,
right here,
is
man.
he going back to a Super Bowl?
I don't think
$50
so.
million? Probably not. Maybe not.
Word is they're still looking for a number one receiver. They got Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
I thought they signed Juju Smith-Schuster.
I know, Juju Smith-Schuster. Those are twos.
Exactly.
Maybe threes. They still need a one.
What about your boy Aaron Rodgers? How many Super Bowls he won? Matt Stafford won as many Super Bowls as Aaron Rodgers has.
He just tied him. We'll see how it goes. It's not going to be easy. You still got some good guys out there, though. There's some good free agents out there. I'm wondering where they fall. Julio Jones is still out there. He might have some tread on the tire still. And you got Jarvis Landry still out there. So there's some room yet. And you know what? If you go to Green Bay and play with Aaron Rodgers, he's going to revive your career. He will.
I agree with you there. 100%.
Braylon, I want to bring this to your attention. Robert Kraft spoke to the media over the last couple of days at the NFL owners' meetings. He is not happy about not winning a playoff game over the last 3 years.
Yep.
If they don't win a playoff game this year, could you see a scenario in which Bill Belichick is out in New England?
I've been wrestling with this all day. I saw the NFL meetings earlier today. Robert Kraft didn't look happy. He said, hey, all that, because keep in mind, Robert Kraft broke the bank 2 years ago, and then they went in COVID, and a lot of those guys didn't play that year. So everybody's just looking at last year as, they got to the playoffs and they lost to the Chiefs. No, you got to go further back than that.
I'll let you hear it. Here's Robert Kraft earlier today regarding the New England Patriots' lack of success in the playoffs over the last 3 years.
I'll be back in person at the NFL meetings. I'll just say I'm a Patriot fan big time first, and more than anything, it bothers me that we haven't been able to win a playoff game in the last 3 years, and I'm happy that I think we had a great draft last year, and it made up for what happened the previous 4 years or so, and I look forward to hopefully having a great draft this year. That's the only way you can build your team for long-term and consistently that you have a chance of winning is having a good draft.
You know how billionaires say billionaires? Because they're always thinking about the future. They're always thinking about the now moving forward. They're not concerned with the wins that they've had in the past. They're not like, oh, well, you know what? I invested some money in the 80s and it was a good company and works. They want to win. Robert Kraft, he knows he's won 7 rings. He's appreciative of what he's done building that franchise up. He's very appreciative of Tom Brady. He's very appreciative of Bill Belichick. But the fact remains, Tom Brady last year there, they lost in the first round. Then the year after that, they didn't make the playoffs. Then last year, they lose in the first round, their first playoff game. They got murdered, by the way, rightfully so. So with that being said, yeah, Bill's their guy. Bill's the man, but Robert Kraft owns the team. And you can't be Robert Kraft. You can't run around on your jet and having all this fun and do all these things if your team's not winning. If your team's not winning, you can't do these things and be seen. So what have you done for me lately?
Wouldn't you love your owner, Lions fans, to come out and say, I'm sorry, we haven't won a playoff game in the last 3 years. Our owners are coming out and saying,
we have
hey,
a plan.
we like to sign our own free agents back. We don't really want to. We don't want to sign those guys. You know what? We're just going to go. No, Deshaun Watson. No. Deshaun Watson. No.
I think the key is
we have a quarterback. No, we're good. We're good.
The key is to be happy to have an owner that is
fine.
Is always in the light, yeah.
We're
right.
fine.
The key is always have an owner that's in the light, that doesn't mind having conversations. Like, if you're going to make the money, spend the money.
Straight ahead.
It's so great. Some of these guys in the YouTube chat are great too. Must be nuts. Did he just get a massage?
That's pretty good.
Pistons fan says genius stuff.
Benjamin Foe. Imagine 30 years.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for.
Very good, Benjamin.
Imagine 30 years, no playoff wins.
We're still celebrating our loss in Dallas.
It's so
in
great.
2014.
Still celebrating.
We're
our
still
loss
celebrating.
in
We
Dallas.
almost had that
It
one.
was on the. It was on the officials.
But see, that's the thing. Like when you don't win the playoffs, like your mindset is very different. When you do win at a consistent high clip, then the outside world perceives it as, oh my God, he's content. 7 rings, all these visits to the playoffs, all this winning in the regular season. But for him, he's used to winning Super Bowls. So now he's looking at it. I haven't won a Super Bowl in how long? What's going on? Tom Brady's no longer here. You ran him off. I let you stay because Tom Brady and you got this thing going. I never really liked you.
Do you remember when we almost beat the Super Bowl champs in regular season? Do you remember when we beat the Patriots that Sunday night? Wow. Holy crap. Wow.
We're 1-2.
We're good.
Status
quo.
By the way, the Patriots signed our guy today, Jabril Peppers.
They did. They did.
He's a Pro Bowler.
It's funny. Chase Winovich goes from Patriots to Cleveland, and Jabril Pepper goes from Cleveland to New York to the Patriots.
Look at that.
He'll make the Pro Bowl.
Absolutely.
He's good. The Patriots in their secondary, they have players that you can play DB and safety, and he's one of them.
We'll probably re-sign Kyle Van Noy.
Really good pro. No, we won't. Madison's videos of the day next. Armani next.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
Oh,
we're good.
Oh, we're good.
Must be that final segment, baby.
Detroit, you've been waiting. You've been asking, and now he's back. Starting Monday, April 4th, Terry Foster joins the Morning Woodward Show every day, bringing you Detroit sports like only he can. The Morning Woodward Show with Terry Foster and Adam starts April 4th, live on the Woodward Sports Network.
Texas Tech may have been stole home, but guess what? SMA has been leveraging pro athletes and other nobles for over a decade. With the help of NFL alumni Sean Jordan, we've been able to save lives around the issues of mental health and substance use disorder. The Sports Marketing Agency podcast, this is the F word, and the F word is for fentanyl, has been going on. Please go on to the Woodward Sports webpage. Check it out. It is a great interview, and we got more and more and more content as it relates to substance use disorder as well as mental health. Everybody suffers from a level of mental health, man. So you really want to get in. You really want to check this stuff out. I promise you, it's good content. It's good stuff at the click of a fingertip. If you're struggling with substance abuse, mental health, go to thesportsma.com. That's how you view their content. That's how you get it out there. That's how you get an understanding. That's how you have the conversation. SMA, baby.
All right, here we go. It is that time of the day we like to play Maz's videos of the day.
And now it's time for Maz's videos of the day, only on the Woodward Sports Network.
Remember how we almost had a car come through our window the other day?
Yeah.
Remember how that car crashed on Woodward just about 2 hours ago?
Yeah.
You never seen a crash like what I'm going to show you yesterday. It happened on Route 81 in Pennsylvania, Pennsylvania Turnpike. Look
Ugly.
at this, guys. And listen.
Watch top right. Now in the middle. Boom. Oh.
Man. Dang, it's snowing.
Snow and fog. Snow and fog are not very good. Look at this. I don't know how many cars piled up, but it was not good. Wait till you see the trailers hitting each other.
That's kind of like ridiculous.
And look at the fire that ensues.
Fog mixed together, and it made the visibility down to zero. And
here's another one.
Shit.
This is Vote for Rob Gill, by the way, on Twitter. Vote the number 4, Rob Gill.
I didn't see that part.
I mean, I'm glad that
watch the tow truck that's going to skid by.
Did anybody die in this?
I don't think so.
I don't know. I think there were a couple of casualties.
Look at that. Woo.
So what I was going to say right before...
Where was this accident? I'm sorry,
Pennsylvania, Route 81. I think that's the Pennsylvania Turnpike, if I'm not mistaken.
What I was going to say right before the last one happened that hit the car, and then, you hear him say the same word that I use. My apologies for that. why is he recording? Like, it would snow. Like, he was.
Yeah,
he
three
was,
passed away.
He was not three. So my apologies to the
Three
people in the
people?
family
Yeah.
that lost
Jeez.
people. He legitimately was recording from an angle that wasn't far enough away from me, and then you see him like I wasn't very smart.
His car got crushed after his car got crushed first. Then he gets out of it, walks a few feet away, and his car gets completely destroyed
Terrible.
on top of that. It was a Dodge Charger. He's like, look at my Charger. My Charger's gone. My Charger's gone.
Hey, guess what? Les Stanford's telling you find new roads. So
That's
maybe
right.
it's the time
There you
for
go.
it.
Get to Les Stanford. Hey, does this ever happen to you when you're playing basketball in the gym with your friends? Check
What?
this next video
Winning?
out. Playing basketball. Look at this. Goes in for the jam, and watch what happens.
Oh.
The basket releases.
Oh.
The stanchion releases. That's a high school gym.
I've seen that happen before, never on a dunk.
Isn't that scary?
No breakaway rim?
The whole damn thing was breakaway.
I tell you
Thank
what,
God, no, somebody could have died.
they were a couple feet away from having to change that high school to somebody else's name.
I mean, wow. I mean, that wasn't like, wow.
That was scary.
though.
Wow.
Oh, my gosh.
It's like two video clips in a row. What's going on with you? You in
happening?
the dark
Hey,
side
man.
today, man.
Hey, I had some
Jeez.
sports videos, but we're not allowed to play them today. So
Okay.
that's all I got for you today, folks.
Oh, very good. Maybe
Uh-huh.
maybe we'll have Maz's news clips.
No,
of
we're
the
gonna
day.
have to change this segment up going
Okay.
forward.
We'll change it
You
up.
have to get him a job at your other job.
Yeah.
You know what we should do? We should bring in like Adam or someone for this, or
Great.
anyone that's in the
somebody
like
in the back.
Easy or Nick or someone like that, and let's chat them up with one of our subjects of the day. What do you think?
Whatever
this
you
is a
wanna
show
do,
meeting.
Maz.
Might as
Yeah.
well figure it out. What do you want to do? Anybody
good.
on YouTube know what would you like to see on the last segment of this show?
Is there a way we could record calls and maybe play calls? Like somebody wants to call up, leave a recorded
I'm not sure.
message?
You could call up right now and talk to Sam if you'd like.
Or send a. Maybe you could send Sam a voice message through email.
Yeah.
A voice recording through email. Maybe we could play some of those. Sam, what do you say about that?
I mean, if it can work out, I'm cool with it.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, as long as we vet the message, I'm good with that. I'm good with that.
Or you could call 313-552-6322.
Look at Matt
anytime.
soliciting phone calls on the air.
552-6322. Call up anytime.
555-1212.
Anytime you want, right here at Woodward Sports.
Oh, this
Hey,
is
where
so
are we going to be
good.
on opening day again?
Brass rail, baby.
Yeah, we're going to the Brass Rail. I'll actually be at the stadium 6 a.m. Getting all the Tigers pregame show stuff going. I'll take you right through 4 p.m. that day.
Is the game at 1 o'clock?
1
that day?
o'clock, yeah.
So we're going to be sitting in doing a show while the game's going on.
Yeah.
Just like last year when Miggy hit a home run out in the snow. That was
we'll
fun.
have the game on.
probably
It's
heard
kinda,
that one.
Kind of like, honestly, it's kind of like the Michigan Big Ten game when it was on right during our show.
The basketball game. Yeah,
you know.
Colorado was Indiana.
Yeah.
Indiana.
Just to reiterate, Morningwood's going to be at the Brass Rail at 8 a.m.
Oh, they'll have big numbers that day.
Big D Energy, 11 a.m. They're going to be
Big
at
numbers.
the Music Hall Amphitheater. So
Wow.
they get a little upgrade there. And the
Okay.
bottom line, that's us. We'll be at the Brass Rail from 2 to
good.
4, Friday,
Everybody-
April 8th.
Matt, who
Everybody
you
get
got
drunk
booked
by
for us
then.
tomorrow?
Nobody. Who you want?
I don't know. Who do you got?
I don't know. What does everyone want to hear? Talk about? Want to get Rod Wood on?
Yeah, try to get me Rod Wood.
All right, I'll try to get you Rod Wood or Sheila Ford. I'm sorry, Sheila Hamp.
Let's try to
Is
get
she done with being a Ford?
Yeah, she dropped
Yeah,
it.
I guess so. That's
So
what
does
I'm
that mean the
hearing.
Fords have sold the Lions?
Indirectly.
Maybe.
It's over?
Indirectly.
So there you
So
go.
is this show.
There it is.
Love you guys. Braylon, get us out of here.
Hey, man, we have had a good week so far. Stick filled in yesterday for Ryan and Ryan. He came back today and hit it out of the park. Sam, Alex, as always, you guys had an amazing show. Maz, we'll figure out these videos today, man. You can't get us pulled down, but we still need your videos today. So you and I work together to help Alex out.
All right, can we do like our sports Oscars tomorrow? I've been wanting to do that
You know
for 3
what?
days.
I'm with it.
Yeah.
Hey, whatever you say, big guy. That
For
sounds
real
pretty
movies,
good.
for real life sports movies.
Okay. Adaptations. Okay, I'm with that. I'm with that.
Let's do that tomorrow.
Excited to
Very
see you
good.
guys. Appreciate the support. As always, you see what we're doing, man. We got some ideas, man. We got some stuff working. Just keep paying attention and you will be a part of the joy and the journey that is Woodward Sports and the Bottom Line. For Armani, Edwards, Maz, Alex, and Sam, we'll see you guys tomorrow. That's the bottom line.